This is my 82 Chevy K-30 all-wheel drive. Doing this video to show people what it looks like and give you an idea what the body looks like and the dull paint. This is all just coats and coats of paint that I've done through the 7 or so years I've owned the truck. There's what the hubs look like. Here's what the wheel wells look like. And suspension in it. And here's my driver's floor and the gas tanks. One of them. I've replaced some of the driver's side exhaust. You can see all the shiny pipes. Passenger side's fairly new, but a few years old. It's got a two-piece drive shaft. The frame is nice and solid. You can see the frame there, and that is a Dana 60 front axle, the real heavy kingpin type front axle. There's a block-off plate I made. Used to have a PTO on this with a hydraulic pump. It doesn't anymore. There's the past year I replaced the oil pan. It started to have some rot. Now let's get to the back here. There's an old hydraulic tank still in there that's empty. The exhaust goes back to the rear axle and stops there. You can see the tread on the tires. You can see the frame is nice and solid. You can see the rails that wherever you had rot, they'd be on the bottom rails. The bottom rails are all good. And there's all the leaf springs you can see. Leaf springs with helpers. Good emergency brake cables. The emergency brakes work well. Every brake line, you can see some of the brake lines are in funny positions. It's because I've replaced every steel brake line in the truck at one time or another over the last 7 years. There are no original brake lines in this truck. To rust or give out on you. I've replaced both rear wheel cylinders and the front brake calipers. And I'll get to the master cylinder, that I put in brand new, and the vacuum booster. You can see some linkages under there from when this was a wrecker. Then you come around. You got the dual wheels. There's your side. There's a crossover toolbox. 2 running boxes. All the boxes lock, and the locks work. Give you an idea what the boxes look like inside. There's that. And there. I'm going to open this one up. This one is homemade. The bed used to stop right in front of the box as a wrecker. I have extended the bed on this 2 feet and put this compartment in here that goes, this side goes 2/3 of the way across. If you look in, you'll see you can get roughly 3 milk crates deep into this. Right now I have chains and the jack and all that in it, but that's that box there. I have a very sturdy trailer hitch on it. It's all diamond plate in the back, thick diamond plate where I added on to the back. I put these pieces of wood on the back to take a little crush on it for bumpers when in case this thing gets hit. Somebody hits you from behind, those will crush a little bit, take a little of the impact out. There's your backup light right there. There's what the bed looks like, all diamond plate. I have a little bit of junk back here right now from like when I fix the exhaust and stuff like that. And there's a spare tire. Good sized bed inside. These pieces of wood right here lift out. It's homemade tailgate with 2 pieces of aluminum channel iron. This plate here comes off. It's got enough room in it on this side to put like a compressor bottle or some kind of equipment in there. You could put a door on it, but right now I just have 2 bolts holding the plate over it. This third of this whole rear back is behind that plate, and you can put whatever you want there. I'll show you the underneath of this back part, how well I structured it. You can see all the steel. There's your spring hangers. There's where the original bumper was as a tow truck, and everything else is welded from there back on. And you can see the structure I used for the trailer hitch. And you can see the frame's all solid here too, right out to the back. Here's what your hubs look like. Leaf springs, frame, that's how this body's bolted on here. The back it's welded, but it's bolted in most places with plates. Here's the rear bed. You'll notice the paint job sucks on this truck because I just keep spray bombing it every so often. This is a side box that I have tapped in here that, let's see, hopefully it's unlocked. Yep. Another box here. Let's see, unlock this. These boxes here, this one has a shelf in it. Now, start looking at other things here. Here's this. Let me show you the underneath on this side. I have the brackets. It has no gas tank on this side. Originally it did, but I took it out because it was rotten. I replaced the driver's side with a new tank a few years back, but I've never got around to doing this side. I have the two frame brackets, but that's it. I have nothing else for the tank on this side. There you can see some of the exhaust I've replaced on this. And you have a big hollow here. You can either put a gas tank or some kind of other thing. You could cut the body up a little bit and the sides here and put something in here if you wanted, like another big toolbox or something. There's tons of room. There's your floors right there, like you got on the other side. There's your cross members and stuff. Here's your frame. Transfer case going to the front. And now, let's go to the front. Now, it has a newer grill in it, because the original grill in the truck was a piece of junk. It had a chrome bumper on it, but that was screwed up. So I put a painted bumper on it. Here's your here's your axle from the front, your big Dana 60. And there's your frame there, nice, no rot. The cross member's good. I've replaced things like the steering shock and all that. Now I'll get around to showing you the interior a little bit. Now, the door panels are screwed up. Somebody had put door speakers in it. I just put duct tape in the holes. And the doors are solid back here in this corner, but this front corner, you can't see it from here, but there's Bondo in the very front corner of the door. The back is solid. You can see it from underneath. It's got good bottoms on the doors. The seat, I caught this out of another truck to match. It's a little ratty, but it's nice and solid. Nice solid seat. The floor, I don't have that's what the floor's been welded up, but it's solid. That button right there is for the windshield washers. The windshield washers don't work on the factory switch. There's a nice stereo. It has a remote control for it. There's the rest of your dash. Originally it's an air-conditioned truck, but the air conditioning doesn't work anymore and some of the stuff's been removed. So it just has a heater. It does not have air conditioning. There's the rest of your interior. It's decent looking. It has 6x9s behind the, each cab corner for the stereo. Let's see, what else can I show you? The rocker panels, I didn't even think about that. Rockers have been replaced. They're open from the inside. They don't have the inner piece, and you can see on the other side where somebody trimmed it and left some of the inner rocker on it. But they replaced it. There's your cab corner right there. Somebody has done the cab corner before. And same on this one. You can't see it as well, but you can see there's a piece missing right here where they've done the cab corner, but it's metal. But here, where they grafted it in, I guess they couldn't get room with a gas tank and the body in there. They didn't do that up a good doing a welding job in there. They just patched it in. Let's see now. Let's go under the hood. Let me pop the hood and show you that before I start the truck up so you can see it don't smoke. Let's see here. This is what I've talked about. It had originally hydraulically boosted brakes. I have now converted it to vacuum booster. I put a brand new, not a rebuilt, brand new master on it. The brake lines look funky, but they're new. They've all been replaced everywhere. I replaced the steering box at one time with a rebuilt, but it's just, that's nothing special. It's the motor has been replaced at one time. It's a dual dipstick motor. What means, because it has the stuff in it for dual dipsticks, that means it's an GM, what do they call them, a good wrench or whatever motor, and it says it on the valve covers too. It says good wrench. These are one of the replacement motors, so it doesn't have 130,000 like the rest of the truck. It has less. There's a little bit of this air conditioning left, but the stuff under the dash is all wrecked, so there's no way you're going to get air conditioning back again. This fender, I had a piece of equipment bolted to this inner fender, so it's got a couple drilled holes in it. But like 5-6 years ago, I replaced the fender and inner fender with brand new, so there's no rod in them on this side. The driver's side, they're old, they got some Bondo in them and stuff like that. Oh yeah, the passenger door, I didn't show you the passenger door. The passenger door has a little rot right here, but there's no Bondo there yet, but it's got some rot, and that side there has some Bondo in it, in the front corner. You can see that. It's starting to blister a little right there, and you can see where there's Bondo in this front of the door here. I want this to be honest. I'm trying to make it so everybody comes to look at this truck, especially from any distance, you see every last little detail from this video. I'm trying to think of anything else I can show you before I start her up and just show you she don't smoke. I think that's it. It's pretty much what you see. You know, you can see pretty much there's no rot in the frame here. That's the big thing with these trucks. There's no rot in the frame. It's an exhaust manifold truck, factory exhaust. I've got the factory dual exhaust right back to the mufflers. It doesn't have tailpipes because of the body in the back. You don't have enough room for tailpipes. But that's pretty much it on that part. Let me start her up and you can hear it run. Let's see here. And I'm on a slight slope. I put it in neutral. The emergency brake down here does work. It starts right up. And I'll go down and point it right at the exhaust so you can see that she don't smoke. There you are, you can hear it rumbling. There's absolutely no smoke coming out of the exhaust. Little things like I replaced that U-joint a little while ago. You can see that in the picture, I hope. And she's a nice, quiet truck, not bad. She's got good power over stock. She still gets good, decent mileage for what she is, for being a big beast like this. Oh yeah, and that is a Holley 4-barrel, a 600 Holley 4-barrel with a manual choke and an open element air filter. It probably gains you, these rated stock weren't a lot of horsepower. It probably gains you like another 20% horsepower by a couple little things like that. But I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to shut the hood. Shut the door for a second. And just give you another pan of the truck. Shut that. That's pretty much it. Oh, the front bumper had parking lights in it. But they've been moved. They're now in the grill, so I just painted over them. My idea was to put driving lights in those holes eventually, but I never got to it. That's something you could do. I would, you can leave it as it is, just paint it over parking lights, or Because of the bumper brackets I used from a newer truck, in fact, I had to trim back the parking lights. So you put parking lights back in this bumper without changing bumper brackets. So if you want to put driving lights or something in there, or you see the frame's good, you can turn this into a plow truck if you want. She's a beast for a good plow truck, but this gives you an idea. I'm trying to do close-ups and everything on it. That's what it looks like. It's a little rough here. It's been painted, and I don't know if I ever had Bondo before. I just keep throwing more paint on it. You'll get a little bleed through once in a while, just because it's a crappy paint job, and I just keep chipping and cracking, and I touch it up every once in a while. But it's a hell of a beast, and it's made me a lot of money through the years, but I don't use it anymore. I'm not a company mechanic anymore. I just run heavy equipment. I don't work on them anymore. So it's time for it to go, so I can buy a toy to replace it. So that's it. Hope to hear from you. Bye.